Chapter 8, Meeting at the Water's Edge. The lakefront waits in a hush that feels older than the city itself, a vast stretch of dark water rolling under a moon smothered by clouds. Malachi hasn't stood here in years, yet the moment his feet hit the concrete near the shoreline, memory rushes him like cold wind. This was the place he prayed until his voice broke, the night he stared at the black water and begged God to show him something, anything, that proved he wasn't alone. This was the place he surrendered. The place he changed. The place he lived. And the place the Revenant is returning to. Cariel stands a few steps ahead, face turned toward the lake, expression unreadable. Even in his human form, something about him glimmers faintly in the shadows, like moonlight caught on glass. "It's close," he murmurs, not turning. "It's been walking in your footprints all night." Malachi swallows hard. His breath is visible in the cold. "Why here? Why this spot?" "Because this is where you let your old self drown," Cariel answers. And the Revenant is trying to reclaim what died. The waves crash harder against the rocks as if reacting to the words. Malachi shivers despite the heavy hoodie and coat he wears. Every part of him feels exposed, stripped down to bare nerves. His past presses against him like wet cloth, heavy and suffocating. He walks closer to the water until the mist touches his face. "This is where I felt him," Malachi whispers. "For the first time. Pure. Real. Like warmth inside the cold." "Yes," Cariel says quietly. "That's why it hates this place." A sudden, unnatural stillness falls over the shoreline. The wind stops. The waves quiet. The distant hum of Lakeshore Drive fades into silence as if the night itself is holding its breath. Then the temperature drops. Not the cold of winter, a deeper cold, one that crawls into the bones and settles behind the heart. Malachi's breath fogs heavier. Cariel straightens, face sharpening with alertness. "It's here," he says. The shadows near the rocks shift. At first, Malachi thinks it's just the water playing tricks under faint light. But then the darkness thickens, condensing like smoke, reversing itself, forming limbs, a torso, a head stitched together from pieces of his memory. Old fears. Old faces. Old wounds. The Revenant rises from the shoreline with slow, methodical weight, as if claiming the ground it steps on. Malachi's heartbeat spikes into his throat. The creature lifts its head, and its eyes, those patchwork, stolen eyes, lock onto his. Cariel steps between them. His voice is steady. "This ground is not yours." The creature tilts its head slightly, like a wolf inspecting prey, and speaks in a voice that is not a voice, a scraping whisper layered with echoes of Malachi's childhood, teenage years, early adulthood, every moment he felt abandoned, unheard, unseen. "Malachi." The sound rattles something deep in his chest. Cariel plants his feet. "You cannot take him." The Revenant's chest rises and falls slowly, as if breathing in the pain of the place. Feeding on it. Growing. Malachi's legs weaken. His vision blurs. "Why am I feeling this?" he gasps. "Because it's pulling your history to the surface," Cariel says, voice strained. "It's using your memories as anchors." Malachi steps back, but the creature mirrors him, moving forward with the same cadence, the same rhythm, as if tethered to his heartbeat. "Cariel. I can't." "Look at me," Cariel snaps, grabbing his shoulder. "Not at the creature. At me. Right here." Malachi forces himself to meet Cariel's eyes. They glow brighter now, almost white. "You survived this night once," Cariel says, tone fierce. "You lived. You healed. You found truth. And it cannot change that." The Revenant lets out a low, resonant sound, something between a moan and a growl, and the waves behind it rise violently, slamming against the stones. Malachi stumbles. "What is it doing?" "It's trying to rewrite the night you surrendered," Cariel says grimly. "If it can corrupt that moment, then every healing after becomes unstable." Your spirit fractures. Your dreams collapse. And then what? Then it doesn't just haunt your nights, Cariel says, voice low. It inhabits them. A massive wave crashes behind the Revenant, spraying water into the air like shattered glass. The creature lifts an arm, pointing at Malachi with a slow, ritualistic gesture. And suddenly the world bends. The wind roars. The lake heaves. The sky flickers with dark light. The shoreline dissolves into a swirl of memory and sensation, the night of Malachi's breakdown, the prayers, the tears, the surrender. But now those memories twist with distortion, as if someone is repainting them with poisoned ink. Cariel. Malachi shouts. It's pulling me. I know. Hold on. The ground shakes beneath them as the Revenant's influence tears through the spiritual echo of the place. Why can it do this? Malachi cries out, voice breaking. Because this is your birthplace, Cariel says. Not your physical one. Your spiritual one. And it wants to own it. The Revenant takes one more step, slow, deliberate, claiming the moment. And then Cariel's expression changes sharply. Almost like fear. We're not alone, he whispers. Malachi's stomach drops. Then who else? Before he can finish, a second presence flickers into existence near the water. Not human. Not the Revenant. Not Cariel. Something else. Watching. Waiting. Drawn by the disturbance. And this chapter ends with that presence taking its first breath into the night, unseen, but inevitable.